heavenly Caribbean islands, crystal clear water, and a breathtaking underwater world. That's Belize. But the country's got a lot to offer above water too. 40% of Belize's natural environment is protected, an intact rainforest with abundant flora and fauna. And the mix of people living in Belize is as colorful as nature. Garinago, Creole, Mennonites, and of course the Maya, who protected a particular treasure. Anyone visiting Belize today will come across traces of the ancient Maya. The temple complexes hint at the advanced civilization that once developed here. The Maya lived in flourishing cities, larger than their contemporary counterparts in Central Europe. They cultivated corn, were masters in mathematics, and developed the famous Mayan calendar. And they had their own script. Today, only 3 Maya manuscripts remain. They tell us that the gold of the Maya was the cocoa bean. Cocoa was not for everyday use. It played a role in rituals. Cocoa was a resounding success. It was the food of the gods, mixed with holy water and crushed flowers. Cocoa was also served to the bride and groom at weddings. And finally, cocoa was quite simply a currency. Cocoa is still grown today in the south of the country, and it's said to be a very special type of cocoa. We've even heard about this in faraway Austria. That's why chocolatier Josef Zotter from Styria has decided to come and visit the Maya, together with his wife Ulrika and his youngest daughter Valerie. This is a place with a long tradition of cocoa farming. The Bol family have been growing cocoa for 3 generations. It started with grandfather Reyes, who later handed part of his land to his son Justiniano, who also grows cocoa, just like his grandson.
This is from me. This is my plants. The 3rd generation, I see. Okay. Yeah, I learned from my father. My father get it from him, so we're just going on with this cocoa business here.
Father and grandfather use traditional methods of cultivation. The youngest family member is treading new paths, one of which is selection.
This tree I found from selected seeds also, and when I plant them, it produced like this for every year. Every year it produced one lot. So.
It's the sort of cocoa forest you'd find in a storybook. There's order in the apparent chaos. It's the order of nature.
The new ideas that I am bringing is mixing my field, biodiversifying my field with other different species of fruit trees, timber trees, like the coconut trees and others.
Das ist ja so, ist es nicht. Du brauchst für sowas auch Visionäre. Ne? Und das merkst du total. Ne? Das sind jetzt mehrere Generationen, die das machen. Und der Junge, der lebt das jetzt so richtig. Ne? Und der Großvater schaut zu und sagt, ob das gut geht.
Even today, cocoa is prepared the same way it was 4,000 years ago. The beans are roasted on an open fire, and the smell of cocoa fills the entire room. The outer shells are carefully removed, and the beans ground to a fine paste. Cocoa is only served as a drink, but made with water rather than milk.
Antisch-Fire.
Könnte man Schokoladetafel machen. Warte, ja. Aber ich mache eine Schokoladetafel. Nehmen wir mit nach Europa. Pass mal. Das kann Zucker rein. It is the one. There's no sugar inside. You
No
know?
sugar,
She loves
bitter.
with sugar. Yes.
So this one?
Where do you buy the cocoa beans?
Here we could like easy find a living with no money. We could like get everything in the farm. We grow with that. So we still take it from our father, grandfather, to stay on the farm and get what we could get in the farm and eat. We could live with that. We could survive.
A cocoa forest is a wonder of nature. Cocoa trees sprout their aromatic flowers directly from the trunk. And even while the trees are in blossom, they're already bearing the first green fruit. Just a little later, and they burst into an explosion of color. When the rainforest disappears, then the harmony of nature will be at an end. Luckily, what's normal in most Latin American countries is the exception here in Belize. Slash and burn destroys functioning ecosystems. Blossoming gardens become a desolate agricultural wasteland. That's not how the Maya treat the natural world. Woodpeckers always cause a lot of damage by pecking holes into the pods, but the Maya don't kill the woodpeckers. Instead, they plant other fruit trees for them.
When you kill one, you say they bring the next two more coming. So they are coming. They continue coming till. That's why we are trying to give them something to eat so they could spend the whole day or the rest of their time there and not bother around the cocoa.
Ja, ist echt gescheit. So muss eigentlich Bioanbau funktionieren. Ne? Man kann nicht alles nachrennen. Manchmal was halt das auch. Ne? Na cool.
And when organic farming works, then nature thrives. And with it, the many animals living there. Fresh fruit are the basis for new generations of cocoa trees. Every bean is a descendant of the gold of the ancient Maya. Once planted in the rich soil, the same miracle takes place that has happened for thousands of years. And so a whole forest of young plants arises. To get the best cocoa, particularly aromatic and abundant cultivators are grafted onto hardy rootstocks. They are planted out. Josef Zotter and his family are also invited to plant a cocoa forest. 3 little cocoa plants in the middle of a rainforest in Belize. Everyone starts small. Will that be enough to make chocolate? Luckily, we have the Maya, and now is harvest time. Harvesting is a careful business. The quantities are small, but the quality excellent. Organic means working without artificial fertilizers and pesticides. However, natural fertilizers are used to ensure sufficient yields, made from the husks of the cocoa pods and ground charcoal. Justino is off to the Maya farmers to buy their cocoa for Josef Zotter. He travels all day because the farmers live scattered over a wide area and only deliver very small quantities. That's one of the reasons that cocoa from Belize is one of the most expensive in the world. Mayan creation myths say that the gods made the first humans from corn. Perhaps that's why corn is so important to the Maya. Over time, Mayan food hasn't changed. Only the kitchen is new, even though the corn tortillas are still baked over an open fire. The cooperative ferments the cocoa at the central collecting points. After 4 to 8 days, the beans have finished fermenting and are taken to the drying house. Here, the right microclimate is vital, warm but not too damp, so that the water is gently extracted from the beans. Protecting nature whilst getting the highest quality produce. That's what Josef Zotter is always trying to achieve. It's part of an approach to life.
Ich bin fester Überzeugung, dass es nur so geht, dass möglichst alles Bio ist, dass es einen fairen Umgang mit der Natur, mit den Menschen, mit den Tieren, mit den Pflanzen gibt, mit der Luft, mit allem, weil sonst, wir haben nur den einen Planeten und das ist unser Lebensraum und das Wichtige ist, dass man sich wieder zurückbesinnt, was Natur eigentlich ist.
The beans are constantly checked to ensure that only the best set off on the journey to Europe. It's all in the color. If the beans are violet, then the fermentation process was not ideal. If they're chocolate brown, then the process was perfect. High-quality cocoa produced under perfect conditions. That's exactly what Josef Zotter was looking for.
Normally the flooring with cardboards.
Yeah, Amanda, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Huh? We are chocolate producer.
Yeah.
I'm in the market and the customers, they say, Zotter, why is your chocolate so expensive? So I can say, this is the point. This is the transparent, the transparent calculation.
Yeah.
That this is the price what the cacao bar, the farmer need.
Yeah.
They need it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, so you mean this price for the farmer, this okay?
Yeah, it is okay for them. No, farmers want more.
Farmers, everybody wants
$100. Yeah.
It's okay when we pay 5.50 from Belize and we bring the cacao to
Why would they
Antwerpen?
5.60?
60, okay. It's okay for you?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
So we do it?
Yeah.
But the Belize cacao is for us the expensive cacao, but this is a good cacao.
Yeah.
The cocoa is not only organic, it is also fairly traded. That guarantees fair working conditions as well as support for social projects.
Und um das geht es. Es geht nicht darum, Almosen zu verteilen und sagen, ja, das ist jetzt eher arm, dann gebe ich jetzt ein bisschen was und dann bin ich sozusagen aus dem Schneider. Sondern wir wollen ja alle ein lässiges Leben haben. Ich meine, das hat jetzt gar nichts mit Schokolade zu tun. Wir wollen ja klasse Klamotten anziehen, wir wollen klasse Schuhe haben, wir wollen klasse telefonieren. Und wenn wir darüber nachdenken, wie unsere Konsumartikel heute produziert werden, dann holt einen nahezu der Teufel, wenn man genauer reinschaut, wo das alles herkommt und wie viel Leid da erzeugt wird damit.
Cocoa produced under fair conditions and with no child labour. And added to that, of the best organic quality. Sadly, this is the absolute exception in the global marketplace. The Zotters have discovered this treasure in the cocoa forests of Belize.
Ich habe ja schon unzählige Kakaogärten gesehen. Ich habe kaum so gesehen, also diese wirklichen intakten Kakaogärten. Nicht? Wenn es ein Paradies gibt, und das habe ich jetzt wirklich ein paar Mal erlebt, das sind teilweise paradiesische Zustände.